Welcome to Serenity Belle Outdoors. In this video, I will be comparing sea monkeys and aqua dragons, days 1 through 10. We had some pretty shocking results. First off, we have the classic Sea Monkeys Neon Ocean Zoo. This is great for nostalgia, and it's the perfect size for a stocking stuffer. And we just have a look at the packaging. You see the rendition of the sea monkeys, the easy prep. You just add water. Back view. Next up, Aqua Dragons. I think the packaging for this one is more fun. It would make a great gift that is a treat to unbox, especially for a child. It would get them more excited to get started with the Aqua Dragon. It shows the easy prep of adding water and eggs, and that the eggs will hatch about 48 hours after you start the process. There's also a cool feature with the Aqua Dragons. They have an LED light that'll help for viewing. This will help you see them when they're still really small. Okay, day 1, we'll start with the sea monkeys. Go ahead and get that wrapping off. The first step will be the water purifier, which we'll add to the water later. And that just makes sure everything is pure for the sea monkeys. Step 2 will be the instant live eggs that we'll apply after 24 hours to the water. And then going into step 3, that will be the growth food for the sea monkeys, and that is started 5 days after step 1 of the process. And this will contain the algae particles for the sea monkeys to eat. Lastly, we have the feeding spoon, which we will use to scoop the growth food out to give to the sea monkeys. And it has a cute rendition of the sea monkeys right on the top. Next up, we have the Aqua Dragons. For this first step, it varies from the sea monkeys who have the purifier for day 1. Instead, the Aqua Dragons have their eggs for day 1. So we get started right away to get the eggs in water so they can hatch. For step 2, which will be day 2, will be the food. So we would get to start feeding our Aqua Dragons right away. Also included is a feeding spoon, which we will use on day 2 to give them a nice scoop of the algae particles. On the top of this spoon, it also has a rendition, this one of the Aqua Dragons. Have a look. As a bonus, the Aqua Dragons also have an air bubbler, which is very useful and helpful to aerate the tank to make sure the Aqua Dragons get the needed oxygen in the water. Lastly, the Aqua Dragons also have a magnifier to use to look in the tank when the Aqua Dragons are really small. The sea monkey tank does have magnifiers built right in, so there is a difference there. Included is a certificate to take a pledge to look after the Aqua Dragons. Along with that, there is an instruction manual that gives the step-by-step details. And the sea monkeys have an instruction manual as well. Now I will go ahead and follow each daily step for the tanks and see what results we get. Okay, now we are on day 2, step 2 for the sea monkeys, which will be putting in the instant live eggs. Looks like it has a bit of algae with it and a bit of dye to help view them. I decided to use the bubbler from the Aqua Dragons tank for the sea monkeys because it just made it much easier to stir things around. I want to make sure it's mixed really well, and then we can have a look to see if we can see anything as of yet. There is a nice green tint to the tank, which it's said to be a good thing because it shows that the algae is present. So far, all I can see are the algae particles, but hopefully we'll see some sea monkeys soon. Okay, day 2, step 2 for the Aqua Dragons, which will be adding the food. And with that, we're just going to use the same feeding spoon. This tank is a little bit wider, so for me, it's easier to view the food going in. I'm going to use the same bubbler to go ahead and get that all swirled around. And then we can have a look to see if any of our Aqua Dragon eggs hatched overnight. So far, I don't see anything, but it has only been 24 hours, so I will just need to be patient and trust the process. But we are all done with day 2. Entering into day 5, I can now finally see tiny specks floating in the water of the sea monkeys. So they have hatched, and now it is time for step 3 to feed the sea monkeys. With that, I'm going to use the feeding spoon and do 1 level scoop into the tank. And that will be from step 3 of the growth packet. Now that that's complete, let's look at the tiny specks that are the Aqua Dragons. I was so surprised at how many actually hatched for this tank. Now at day 7, we have a lot of growth for both the sea monkeys and the Aqua Dragons. I have noticed that the sea monkeys are seeming to grow at a faster rate, so they are much easier to view in the tank, and the magnifying glass on the side actually helps with the viewing. The Aqua Dragons are not growing as fast, but there are a lot more in the tank. And it's really fun to watch them with the LED light on. You get to see a lot of action. Take a look. We have made it to day 10, and I'm actually very shocked but pleasantly surprised that both tanks are still holding up well and the Aqua Dragons and sea monkeys are both growing. I've read a lot of reviews where one tank would work for someone but not the other. So I'm happy that both tanks are working for me, and I'm really enjoying watching the Aqua Dragons and sea monkeys. As for overall review, I would say the sea monkeys definitely won in the growth category. They grew faster, so they were much easier to see and view. Also, the algae already started growing in the tank, so the sea monkeys have their food right on demand. You can get a real clear view here. They seem really happy in the tank and are really thriving and are fun to watch through the looking glass that's attached. For the Aqua Dragons, I will say they are the winner in the overall look and display category. The LED light is so fun to look through, and it really helps to spot the Aqua Dragons, even though they're on the smaller side. Well, that wraps up the first 10 days of the sea monkeys and Aqua Dragons. I really enjoyed watching all of them grow. Thank you for watching with me. And there will be a part 2 to this video because I am excited to see how big they actually grow. And I'm hoping I'm going to be able to sustain both tanks for a long while. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and watch out for more to come. If you have any questions on the steps I took, please let me know. Have a wonderful day.